بسم الله مين انت؟
Exploring abandoned buildings can be downright horrifying, but what happens when you encounter someone?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Or something you'd rather never meet. Tonight, we're diving into 6 of the most terrifying abandoned building encounters ever recorded. Devil's Playground. Meet Chu, the man behind the YouTube channel called Knob Team Explore, an urban exploring channel that finds the craziest abandoned places and live streams from directly within them. Tonight, Chu is live streaming from an old abandoned hospital somewhere in the forests of Indonesia. The old hospital has been abandoned for decades, now mostly overtaken by nature. Local legends state that malevolent spirits haunt the property. Little does he know, Chu is about to get more than a taste of supernatural mayhem. Take a look.
Main lagi di tengah jalan itu trolinya. Kurang kerja. Allahu Akbar, la haula wala quwata illa billah. Terbang so, astagfirullah. Ya Allah ya Rabbi. Subhanallah walhamdulillahi wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar.
As Chu makes his way through the decrepit grounds, he stumbles across his first encounter, as something far ahead moves suddenly and makes an audible noise while doing so, seemingly all on its own. He is so obviously terrified at this bizarre oddity, but he continues, forcing himself to make his way through the hospital's depths.
Gua masukin dulu. Itu yang di pojok gitu lagi. Woi! Allahumma lakasumtuhu wa bika amantu. Udah, gua samperin kontol. Diem lu. Udah bangsat. Udah kemeteranjeng. Gue samperin.
Chu has now discovered what he saw move earlier was an old wheelchair. As he moves towards it, the doors ahead begin violently opening and shutting all on their own. Is he all alone? Or is there something else lurking within these hospital grounds?
Oh iya. Oke.
Tapi bawa fotonya, hormatin itu si ibu suster.
Astagfirullahaladzim. Suruh ngur. Ini Kak, Mr. Tembem ini. Iya. Ini gua bawa gitu. Gua bawa kemana Kak? Ke tempat ambulan tadi sana di atas sana yang di apa itu?
Chu, finally having made his way inside, sees that the hospital was obviously abandoned in a hurry, as the place is clearly strewn about. He finds a portrait of one of the hospital's nurses, and as he studies it, a violently loud bang interrupts him. Whatever is here with him is only getting angrier.
Ini ruangan apa ya kayak gini nih ya? Astagfirullahaladzim, la haula wala quwata illa billahil aliyil azim. Siapa itu? Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah. Kok kontol iku paling senjelung.
As Chu steps into one of the hospital's many bedrooms, he is taken by surprise when one of the beds moves with great force. He is now so panicked that he immediately breaks out in prayer.
Yang kepala itu loh. Ya Allah. Hei. Siapa itu? Kok rame kok.
Chu, now obviously looking for a way out, encounters a fork in his path. The hospital is huge, clearly labyrinthian, and so he becomes unsure about which direction to take in order to get back to safety. As he considers the appropriate path, both sets of doors in both directions begin opening and closing again. Notice how there is no wind either.
Kerandanya di sini ya. Siapa yang naruh ini keranda ini? Hah? Kontol. Oh, didorong dari situ, gua tahu ini. Ketangkep lu ya. Nggak ada orang, Jo.
Chu, now totally lost and completely exhausted, is having a hard time catching his breath. Every time he believes he found an exit, he gets turned around again. As he makes his way further, an old hospital bed is pushed violently across the hallway by an unseen force. As he runs to investigate, he finds no one.
Guys, kalau mau top up terpercaya teresmi ya di Bigo. Buat kalian yang pengen nonton live streaming kita nih yang di sebelah nih ya, lebih dari 4,k, kalian download Bigo ya. Karena yang di sebelah ini mohon maaf nih ya, lu cuman model-model komen doang, nggak pernah top up. Kalau lu download Bigo, lu terus datengin ya resellernya, Bigo reseller. Nah, di situ lu nambah mantep lu. Lu sebelah ini pindah nih, download aplikasi Bigo ya. Kalau level lu masih kecil, langsung top up di BRG, Bigo Reseller Group namanya ya. Jangan kayak orang susah lu, main knock habis itu joget-joget doang.
Now, Chu has discovered the exact same photo of the nurse he found at the entrance. It is sitting on a staircase now, flipped over, far from where he began. What could be messing with him? And what does this nurse have to do with it all? Chu has now stumbled across what looks like a large auditorium with a heap of old chairs in the middle of the room. As he investigates this curious scene, the chairs begin moving on their own accord, as if they are being dragged by something. This is Chu's final straw, as he becomes determined to make his way out. After what feels like forever, he does manage to find where he started from, and he makes it very clear. The Love Hotel. Meet Japanese film crew Omagatoki, consisting of two friends named Hiro and Tomo. Their shared passion is a love for abandoned buildings and urban exploring. Hiro and Tomo are revisiting the iconic Love Hotel, an abandoned hotel famous for its supernatural sightings. In their last video at the Love Hotel, their subscribers spotted an eerie shadow figure they didn't initially see. Curious, the Omagatoki crew is now back at the Love Motel, determined to find this mysterious figure, but they end up finding much, much more. Watch.
ここから規制のような声がしてた場所。ちょっと見てみようか。どんな部屋、何の部屋なんだろう。大丈夫？うん。ちょっとやばい。ちょっとやばいかもしれない。マジでやばいかも。見てみ。ちょっと映像だと分かりにくいかもしれないんだけど、大小いろんなお皿に水がなみなみに水が。
The two first decide to open the door to a room where last time they heard a stranger's voice call out. When they open the door, they are surprised to find many bowls and plates of water, some even including a mysterious black liquid, which were certainly not there before.
なんかいた。なんもないよ。なんかボタンと落としたよね。した。
As they continue to explore the abandoned love hotel, they hear a loud thud that comes from directly above them. Curious, they explore the source of the loud noise, expecting to find it was a large item that had fallen. When they go to investigate, however, they found no item out of place, which means the loud noise they heard before couldn't really be explained.
ちょっと待って。もうさ、裏に部屋みたいなのあるから。そう。ここに
本当に言ってる？
明らかにドアの枠。これで塞いでる。
マジ？動くのまずこれこれさもう固定されてんじゃないの？据え付けられてるというか。
動かせるけど、この中から聞こえたってことだよね。
この中から音がした？こっちの。
多分こっちの方だと思う。
動かせる？押せる？うわマジ？本当よ。いやどうする？いやマジちょっとこれ、本当にどうする？
だって隠してる。そう隠してる。
ちょっと開けてみる？開けれる？うわ本当に何？部屋がいやてかめちゃくちゃ臭っ。こっからすげえ匂いするよ。うわすごい匂い。こ
っからだったのか。
いやちょっと待ってこれ体当たりしないよね。
腐敗臭っていうかさ、
ちょっと尋常じゃないよ。
やばい。
トイレだ。トイレじゃん。なんだトイレじゃん。何？
袋。黒い袋が。
これどうしたの？ちょっともうちょっと開けれる？これどうしたの？うわちょっと待って。やばい。トモさんちょっとこっち来た方がいい。
They didn't find the source of the noise, but they do manage to locate a hidden room covered by an old bookshelf, something they had not discovered previously. It's then that the two realize that the sound likely came from that hidden room. They manage to get it open, but as they do, a foul odor comes barreling out, mystifying the two men. They get the door open further and discover the room contains a toilet, a large black garbage bag, and what looks to be a noose hanging from the rafters.
どうした？
今なんか喋った？
いや喋ってないよ。なんかどうした？
普通に声聞こえた。
今
なん
て聞こえた？
逃げてって言った。
言ってない。
逃げてって聞こえたよ。
そこの中で？
言ってないんだよね。
言ってない。いや今マジで誰も喋ってないよ。
嘘。普通に逃げてって聞こえてる。
物音とかじゃなくてはっきり聞こえた。
はっきり聞こえた。
ちょっと待って。
もう完全に違う。
喋ってないよ。
後ろぐらい違う。後ろぐらいこう。こうだね。何？動いたよ今。ちょっと待って。違う。今確実に。いやありえない。
Curious as to what's in the black garbage bag, Tomo decides to investigate. Before he does so, he's interrupted by a voice he hears somewhere in the distance. The voice isn't audible to us, but Tomo is clearly unsettled by the ordeal, as he claims it said, "Run away," very clearly. As Hiro and Tomo are discussing their next move, that mysterious garbage bag rustles on its own, making an audible noise that terrifies the two men.
皿の水見て。今風ない？おかしくない？
や全然協力何これどかする人の声じゃないよな。違う聞こえるどかするなってるニコ待って何の動物じゃねえの。ちょっとそこ人いないそこ。いやちょっとマジやばいマジやばい。おかしいこんなんちょっと一回冷静なの一回ちょっと落ち着こう。
As they make their way back to the room with all the bowls filled with water, they notice that all of the water is now shaking within them. Then, the two hear what sounds like a woman screeching violently, getting louder and louder as the seconds pass. Terrified, the two men leave in haste. As the two make their way to the car, they notice what looks like the shadow of what was perhaps once a human being watching them from a distance. A night at the opera. Meet explorer Xiao Long. Xiao and his friends are notorious for live streaming old abandoned places throughout China. Tonight, Xiao and his friends are exploring an abandoned opera house. But in order to get access to this supposed open house, Xiao and his friends must break in first.
哎，我这是啥呀？我操你妈是人吗？我滚你妈逼！别动！我操！哎，没了！哎，我操！我操你妈！我操！啊！人儿！我操你！啊！事儿！哎，我这是啥呀？我操你妈是人吗？我滚你妈逼！别动！我操！哎，没了！哎，我操！我操你妈！我啊！人儿！我操你！啊
After securing access inside, the two men begin to explore the entire facility. As they come to the backstage area of the opera, they are encountered by two shadow figures standing directly in front of them. But when the two notice the figures, they somehow completely disappear, only to fade back into view. The men are now on stage, staring into all of the empty seating. As the two become transfixed by the eeriness of the scene, the whole front row of the auditorium chairs collapse at the same time. Later, as Xiao approaches a door somewhere in the lobby, it slams in his face, sending into a rage of panic. Terrified, the two run for their lives. As the two are outside, they manage to spot what looks like a child's face peering at them from a high window. What kind of entity lurks in these halls exactly? And what does it want with Xiao and his friend?
操你妈的！来，咱现身了！哎，我操，咋的了？你给我这手机拿来！咋的了？我操你妈！太黑了，不照下了！你的妈有没电了？我操了！我拿手机来！哎，好死了，好死了！等会儿。 好热！哎，好热，好热！哎，我操你妈呀！我操你妈呀！没电了，全机我没电，找人啊！别他妈操着，操你妈的！你那手电呢？ 我的手电他妈也不好使了！我操你妈的！我操！我去你妈！我操！我操！我操你妈！哎，兄弟们，看这上面！ 啊！我操！啊！我操！啊！我操！啊！啊！我操你妈！哎！兄弟们，看这上面！啊！
Not willing to give up so easy, the two head back inside, desperate to make contact with whatever is haunting them. But that's when Xiao's flashlight suddenly dies, though he claims to have replaced the flashlight batteries with fresh ones just before their expedition. The place goes dark, but they manage to take out their phones to light their way. As the two try to collect their breath, the house lights of the auditorium turn on suddenly, now illuminating the entire theater. Now, instead of empty seats, they find several shadows lurking there, watching the two of them like one would watch a play. That is enough to scare the two away for good, as they hastily make their way out of the building. With enhanced audio, you can hear what sounds like a woman singing as the two make their exit. Whatever Xiao and his friend encountered there that night, they were lucky to get out when they did. Murder House. Meet Ehab Kazmia, an urban explorer and paranormal investigator. Tonight, Ehab is going to explore an abandoned house with a dark and unsettling history, where a man named Khalil murdered his entire family in cold blood. With nothing but his camera and flashlight in tow, Ehab braces for the long and terrifying night ahead.
Bismillah. مين انت؟
While Ehab is exploring the depths of this old murder house, he remarks at the strange and eerie atmosphere, as if the air is somehow 10 times heavier than normal. As he's exploring what looks to be the family's old living room, he begins to pray. Just then, he spots a man on the ground at the base of the door, peeking in at him. When he goes to follow, the man disappears entirely.
Bismillah. تعال. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Ehab is now determined to explore further, hoping to find the man and confront him. As he makes his way further along the house, he looks up at the window. The same man is on the other side of it. When Ehab goes to check, the man again has completely disappeared.
واقف بتكون الشغلة يا قاتل يا مقتول. طبعا أعوذ بك يا قاتل يا مقتول، أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات. بسم الله.
As Ehab continues on, he stops briefly to catch his breath, but while doing so, he hears knocking. Confused, he turns himself around, only to watch a window close on its own.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تعال. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Ehab, now on the outside of the property, is considering leaving as he's grown uncomfortable with this cat and mouse game with the phantom man. But this chase isn't over. As he makes his way back inside, the same man can be seen staring at him from the window. The man stays in place for a while, watching with his dead eyes and slightly crooked smile. As Ehab gets closer, the doors begin to move on their own. Finally, the man disappears yet again with a pop of the closing window.
بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات.
As Ehab is ready to call it a night, he is retelling his story while standing in front of a mirror. As he's getting ready to leave, the face of the same man appears behind one final time, which begs the question, who was haunting Ehab that night? Was it the ghost of the man who killed his own family, or a rogue, fiendish spirit just wanting to play? Dine in only. Meet Takeuchi Kamera, a Japanese YouTuber vlogger who seeks out old abandoned buildings and films from the inside. Tonight, he's visiting an abandoned restaurant, which has not been sitting abandoned for long. The talk around town is that the owners of the restaurant left in the middle of the night in a hurry, though no one knows why. But Takeuchi Kamera is about to soon find out. Watch.
こっちから音がしてんねんな。ああ、なんもないな。嘘。ちょっと待って。マジ？いや、今動いた。椅子動いたよな、今。いるな。マジか。ここに座ってるのか。何をされてるんですか？何か僕に訴えかけてるのでしょうか？マジ。何か言いたいことがありましたらおっしゃってください。OK。ちょっとチャンス。早い段階で。マジ。ちょっと待って。一回止めて。
As he makes his way through the home, you can see that home was left rather hastily, as all the furniture and items are thrown about. As Takeuchi is speaking into the camera, one of the chairs moves all on its own.
これで居場所を探ろう。どこや。おる。マジ。いる。ほら、座ってる。ほら、座ってる。ほら、椅子に座ってる。マジ。ちょっと待って。展開早い。一回止めよう。
Now armed with his heat signature camera, he analyzes the abandoned dining room with it. He manages to spot a heat signature in the shape of a headless body sitting at one of the chairs to his right. The room is obviously empty, but the heat camera shows an obvious marking. What is lurking there, and what does it want exactly?
Ah, 寒気する。マジ？ちょっと待って。すいません。よいしょ。
As Takeuchi is stationed in what looks to be the restaurant's office, he scans the room, looking for any potential sightings. As he sits there, the air around him grows very cold and heavy. Everything goes silent, and then, to Takeuchi's surprise, a frame falls from the wall behind him. This shocks him so badly that he trips and falls into another frame. Deciding enough is enough, Takeuchi leaves the abandoned restaurant, not knowing exactly why it sits abandoned. Ghost feet. Yet another video from Takeuchi camera. This time, he's going to explore an abandoned house that he's visited many times before. He remarks this house as very strange, as there are 2 levels but no stairs, and the whole layout of the home is very odd. It has been abandoned as long as Takeuchi can remember, and it is said to be very haunted. As Takeuchi makes his way through the bizarre home, he gets the strange feeling as if he is being watched. The forest that surrounds the home is quiet, a little too quiet, and this causes Takeuchi great anxiety, as tonight feels different from all the other nights before. As Takeuchi is exploring the attic, he pans his camera to the left, and though he doesn't notice it, he can clearly make out a set of feet directly in front of him, pale and ghostly in color.
Oh. え？あ？ちょっと待って。あ、ちょっと待って。マジ？ちょっと待って。あ？いや、どういうこと？マジでどういうこと？いや、そんなわけないって。いや、ライトなかったの、マジで。どういうこと？撮影続けられん。
In the same attic, Takeuchi's flashlight suddenly stops working, leaving him in pitch-black nightmare of this strange and haunted house. He quickly takes out his camera for a source of light, snapping pictures just to find his way out. He finally finds the exit, and when discovering the phantom legs upon reviewing his footage, he vows to make that the last exploration of that very strange home.